This will be a beautiful thing. You get Garnacho, then Noni to Arsenal. Just everyone just helping each other out. Do you know what I mean?
Nah. Fuck that, bro. I don't want Madueke to go there.
Would you even be mad at that though? That's an upgrade, though.
Bro, I don't want him to go there. Why would I want? Hold on. So Arsenal have needed a backup for Saka for years now. Yeah, we saw Saka's lamb shank fly off his bone not long ago. I'm saying it flew away. Right now, you want me to go and give him Madueke, who can come in for this guy and help them out, so he ain't gonna get injured again.
This guy rates Madueke.
Do you want to sell Madueke to Arsenal?
Of course not.
Fair,
the only way I would get rid of this guy is if we bring in Kudus, because then we've got a replacement. We can play Kudus off the right, Valde, Neto. Selling what's his name, Madueke to Arsenal. You're strengthening their squad because now they've actually got a backup for Saka.
Hey, Charleston, you'll drive him there.
Noni, I'm not selling Noni to Arsenal. I'm
strengthening their squad. I'm sure they'll be all right without Madueke.
You're telling me he's not a good backup for Saka. You're telling me, hold on, Saeed. Let's be objective now. You telling me Madueke is not a good backup for Saka?
It's a decent backup, but the way you said it, like strengthening them, like
he is strengthening their. Hold on. Is he not strengthening their squad? Because who's their backup for Saka right now?
Ask any sensible Arsenal fan if he's strengthening their squad. They're gonna laugh at you, bro.
They're not gonna laugh at me. Why is he not strengthening their squad?
Waneri's better than Madueke. Waneri's better than Madueke. How does he? Waneri's wait, Don. Tell me, Waneri's better than Madueke. So how does he improve?
Do you know how many games Ethan's been playing on the right and struggled physically, bro? Do you know how many times he's struggled?
Okay, but the stats show that he scores more goals, gets more assists than your boy Madueke in the short games.
Now we're being disingenuous. Now we're being disingenuous. You're not gonna tell me. You're not gonna try to convince me that Noni can't come off the bench. Saka comes off 70th minute. He's tried to cook the fullback or whatever. Comes on against tired legs. He can't be direct, run at people, and try and make things happen. You're not gonna tell me he can't do that.
I'd rather have 1 year.
He literally just did that the other day. Hold on. He literally just did that the other day for England with Saka. That's the irony. Saka came off the pitch and Noni looked even better than him. Noni looked even better than him, bro.
Don, do you know the problem with what you're saying, yeah? I agree with you. He'll insert more energy. He'll try and beat his man. But you know Noni's biggest problem? His end product. He'll beat his man and then do nothing with it.
Yeah, but Roms, but that's the thing though. With bench players, bro, there's going to be a drop-off in quality, right? And end of the day, he's still at an age where he can develop. His end product can definitely.
No, they've got a younger player in Nanweri that's better than him on the right. It makes no sense.
Ethan is not a better right winger than Noni, bro. Ethan is a midfielder.
I'd rather have 1 year personally.
He is a midfielder. Hold on. Do you know how many games? Hold on. Do you know how many games I watched? Do you know how many games I watched of Nwaneri on the right last season, and he's struggling to run past his man, bro. He was struggling.
It's not all about running. There's different types of wingers.
That game against Leicester. Hold on. That game against Leicester was an anomaly, bro. Go watch back a lot of those games. Even for me, when I watch him, I'm like, yeah.
It's Arsenal.
You know what side though? What Don's doing, Don, what you're doing is your preference of winger. I get it. Madueke's more of a touchline winger, but Ethan Anweri's more of an inside winger, right? You can have different variations of winger, but Anweri's a better winger than Noni, in my opinion. But even Arteta don't really even like touchline wingers like that. So Anweri's probably a better fit for Arsenal than Noni.
And do you know what it is, Roms? Waneri is like Saka. He does what Saka does. They're very similar. Why do I want Madueke, who just runs to the byline 5 times a game? Runs to the byline.
Why would you not want a different profile? Why would you not want a different profile? Why would you not want someone to come on and have thinking of something else?
Because you have managers that would like a different profile so they can bring him in and change the way they play, or you can just bring in Waneri, who's going to do what they do and just do it at a different level. He's I don't know what you think. And when you talk about Madueke's dribbling, his dribbling is good because he runs on the outside all the times. If he tries to come through the inside like Ethan Waneri does, he'll dribble better than Madueke does. More often. Waneri's cut through the middle of the pitch.
Right. That's not a debate though. Ethan on the ball, dribbling wise and that, the tech and that, he's better than Madueke. And that's why I would, as an Arsenal fan, I'd want him to be played in midfield, bro. If anything, he should be competing with Odegaard. Because for me, I believe that.
I agree. I've said that too. I agree.
He should be competing with Odegaard because I actually think he would get more GA than Odegaard. Like, he shoots more than him. He's more accurate than him. He's got a better shot than him. Like, if you bring Noni and you've got Ethan that can be rotating with Odegaard, you're strengthening their squad. I don't get what's so mad
Someone
about
said
it.
in the chat they watched LAFC right backs pocket Madueke, but you're now trying to tell us.
Bro, he was shit up. Yeah, but
him.
He's not a left winger. I've seen enough of him on the left to know he's not a left winger, bro. The guy was absolutely shocking the other day. Maybe the honeys weren't there because you know the stadium was empty, innit? The honeys weren't about, bro. You know what I'm saying? I saw him in the club after. I saw him in the club after and that, yeah. But I'll be real, like I have to be objective about it. I wanted Olise because Noni is a squad player, right? And the reason why, Roms, like what you're saying, is because the end product is not consistent. Saka's end product is way better than Noni's, like 100%. But let's be real, man. When you look at your bench, you know you're gonna have a drop off in quality, man. That's how it is. That's how it is. If you had someone else that was as good as Saka, they'll want to leave. You know what I mean? You can't have Olise and Saka play together.
But on that point though, so if Madueke does go to Arsenal, when's he going to play?
On the right.
I think when is he going to play? When is he going to play?
You take Saka off. You can play cup games. You got Champions League.
But he's only going to take Saka off when the game's fully done and dusted.
But if you've got Nani there, he's never had
that team.
Yeah, but LB, he's never had real backup for Saka, so you don't know how he would react to it.
No, but look,
he's not taking off Saka unless the game is fully won. Like,
no, but LB, the irony of that is
we don't know.
LB, the irony of that is even if the game's fully won, Saka will play the whole 90 minutes anyway. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where you've got to criticize the manager, though. That's where you've got. If there was to sign Madueke right now, and Saka's still getting overplayed, you have to criticize him for that because you're not managing him well. Right? Yeah, Saka right now doesn't even look back to his old self. Like, he doesn't look fit to me. Did you get it? So if I'm a Gooner right now, I'll be like, bro, if you're bringing Madueke in, Saka after 70 minutes.
Even if I don't think it's what Don is saying, yeah. I don't think it's a wild statement in terms of like his idea behind it. But I didn't agree with the whole word strengthening. That word
that was it. For me, the word strengthening.
How can it hold on, Saeed? How can it not be strengthening their squad? All right, cool. Put it this way: if they don't have backup for Saka and they overplay him, he will get injured again, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
He will get injured again. So, would you rather not have someone there for Saka? So Saka's there majority of the season. Because what's going to happen is if they don't have backup for Saka, he'll get injured. Come the end of the season, it's we're missing Saka again. We're missing this guy again. We're missing this guy again.
You know what? It's what Saeed said, yeah? I just feel like the problem what I had with what he said, I understand your idea, I understand your logic. It was the word strengthening because for me, if Madueke comes in back up for Saka, they're just plateauing. They're not regressing, but they're not progressing. They're just kind of staying at the same level. So that's the only thing I had a problem with.
That's where they need to go more. They did
personally, I think but if you're talking about 11, I never said it strengthens their team. I said it strengthens their squad. Because if you look at their squad, it definitely strengthens the squad, bro. You're bringing in.
But that's my point, Don. I still think it stays the same. I still think it stays the same. That's why I disagree. I think even squad. But I know you're not saying Madueke to come in 11. Of course you're not. But I'm saying even squad. I just think they stay the same. I think most sensible us fans, if they sign Madueke, some will even probably say they've regressed because they just don't rate.
Yeah,
but for me, they just stay the same,
bro. Like Savio, man. Look at their backups that are deemed they will strengthen the team. And
you lot are moving like Noni's like rubbed out like Sterling or something, bro. Like
what we very good, bro.
He's a squad player, LB though. That's what he is, bro. Like, and people want to go on about how Arteta likes to develop and coach players. Why can't Arteta develop him? Why can't Arteta help him?
He's not going to play.
Yeah,
he's not going to play.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think it's gonna happen this anyway. It's just not gonna.
I don't think it will happen. But we can't let it happen.
I want it to happen.
I don't even know the transfer window's open, man. I don't know what's wrong with that club, man. It's fucking insane. Yeah, I remember back in January, yeah, Arsenal fans was getting on to me saying that, the reason why we've not signed any players in January is because we're going to go big in a transfer window in the summer. Hello? Yeah. Does anybody know that the transfer window's open at Arsenal? Real talk, man. That is skint or something. Like, honestly, it's insane, bro. How have they not got a striker already?
Let me ask you lot something, yeah? Who should Arsenal bring in right now as backup for Saka? Name me 5 names.
For me, I think they should go for someone like a Semenyo.
Semenyo's a left winger.
Costs a lot of money.
I like the Kudus shout, man. I do.
Kudus wants to be backup for Saka, yeah?
But Kudus is pretty good at like rotating. He could play anywhere across the front line.
He could play anywhere, to be fair.
You answer the question, please. Will Kudus be backup for Saka, bro?
You're telling me Kudus would rather stay at West Ham than go to Arsenal?
Kudus will go somewhere right now where he's going to start. He's going to have many clubs after him.
Oh, so you do this thing you done, yeah, where you ask the question, yeah, we give you the answer, and then you go, oh no, we can't do it. No.
Because I'm saying Kudus is going to have many options. Why is he going to go to Arsenal to be back
options? Show me now, yeah, one for Brazil Sweet where someone's bid for Kudus. Show me one.
Bro, there's multiple clubs after him. Arsenal won him.
Where's the bids?
Man United, I think, are looking at him.
Where's the bids?
What am I looking at him?
I would say,
nobody,
man. You better broke.
No, but this is what I don't like about what LB said.
5 names that could be good backups for Saka, please.
To answer your question, yeah, I don't think you won't start ahead of Saka, but I think in terms of, who you said strengthening the squad, I think if Arsenal was to sign like an Adeyemi, that will strengthen the squad. Not 11.
Fuck you now, man.
And he will strengthen
the squad. First of all, Adeyemi is even a left winger, and this guy
can play right. He can play right. He can play right as well.
He's wasteful as well. So now you're doing a big name thing now because Adeyemi is meaty.
No, it's not done. It's about signing players.
Adeyemi is meaty.
But
why is Adeyemi gonna go? Why is he gonna leave Dortmund when he's gonna go to? He'll have so many other options to go start because he's a bigger name.
No, but this week
you just said back up to Saka, and that will improve the squad. So for me, Adeyemi's more of an upgrade than a Noni.
But why would Adeyemi leave Dortmund to go be a backup for Saka? He would have many clubs where he can start.
No. I'm not saying he would leave Dortmund, but you're saying just name players that would strengthen Arsenal's squad ahead of Madueke. I named you one. I'm not saying
I didn't say that. I asked you a question. Name me 5 players. Name me 5 players. Name me 5 players. 5 realistic targets right now that you can go and buy that are right wingers or can play comfortably on both sides, even. Yeah.
Bowen.
That will be back up. So Bowen will be back up to Saka then.
Oh, number one.
But you know what you're doing with this question, Don, because what player's going to want to go to a club and say, I'm a backup?
Player. That's my point here, though. You're not going to find many backups. You're not going to find many backups, yeah?
You're telling me that Kudus the level of what wouldn't go from West Ham, where they're not in Europe, yeah, to go to
Don, you're not making no sense here, because you're talking about, you're talking about why would a player go from an average team to a league, a team that's competing for the league and potentially Champions League? Why would they not want to be a part of that squad? If the player thinks they're good enough, they go to that team and they play a role in that team, a significant role. Maybe not be a starter, but can still play a significant minute. Why would they not leave? Wait. Why would they not leave a West Ham, a Dortmund, a team that doesn't win stuff, a team that doesn't compete to go to a team
win stuff now, yeah?
A team that competes, I said, competes. I'm not being funny. Don't. If the player thinks they're good enough right now, they should think that they can be the difference maker between Arsenal being a trophy winner and not. Arsenal aren't far off. They just need a small gap. If a player thinks they're good enough, they should think they're that difference maker.
Yeah, but George,
I'm gonna be done as well. How come you're
Big up
Dibley's a good shout.
Oh, Don, how come you're so confident then that Madueke will go and be a bench player at Arsenal? If every player that we've named so far, you've gone, I won't be a bench player. How come you're so certain that Madueke will hold bench?
Because Madueke is not as good as Bowen and these guys. He's a squad player.